So hello everyone. I guess I'm audible to all of you, and I think you can unmute and speak. So I'm not disabling that. We'll see how the session goes. If we can see like more disturbance are coming, then I'll mute you all, and then I'll let you speak at the end. So how is today we are going to do something like why mathematics for programming and data science. So first of all, before going to all that contents, I want all of you to join to this. So all you have to do is just go to Google and search this joinpd.com and use this code BWX. Do not give any space and BLC. So you just enter this code when you go to joinpd.com, and then you'll be able to participate in this. So I could see like one student joined. All you have to do is you have to go to joinpd.com. You can see here on the screen it's written joinpd.com. Just type that and enter this code. Do not give any space in them. As you can see in the screen, there is a space, so you do not give any space, just enter all these codes. Okay, so I could see like 6 of you joined here, so I want all of you to join here. Yeah, so I can see like 20 of you have joined. We'll wait for a minute again.
Sir is asking for skip or something else. How are you feeling today?
Uh, did you go to this joinpd.com?
Yeah.
Okay, you just go to joinpd.com and just use this code. I don't think so it will ask anything as such.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess we are 65 of us here, and I can see 50 of you have joined. So those who haven't joined, you can join the this thing. You can just note this down, like joinpd.com, and use this code BWXBLC. Okay. So we'll start our class, and those who haven't joined can still join this. So you can see here this code on the top right corner below this time what it shows, right? So you can see that BWXBLC. So I want all of you to join here. So my name is Vicky Kumar Sharma. I'm a maths course instructor. So today we'll be doing, we'll be taking you through what is the content for maths on in programming and data science. And essentially, I understand that your exams are soon. So what I thought was I prepared some of the questions, like a model type questions you can say. So these questions you will be solving with me. So I want all of you to take out your pen or like whatever writing device, and you can participate in solving these questions. It's not accounting anything. It's always like you see most of the session you would have gone through previously also. You would see like it's just listening the speaker, right? Let's not do this here in mathematics. What we'll do is I want you to write it down some things. Okay, so that's what we'll do here for maths. So what I have done is like I have prepared some 8 questions, 7 or 8 questions, and these questions are like model questions. So model questions in the sense you might expect a similar kind of questions, and I will be also discussing some of the questions, and you will be actually solving that questions. I'll be giving you a space for writing, entering your values and all that thing, and I'll be giving you time to solve that. So I want you to do it that way. It's just because your exams are near, so I want you to assist in that sense. Okay. And also we'll take up the open doubts, whatever you have, mostly related to mathematics, not the admin related things, because I won't be able to assist you there. So yeah, so that is what we'll do. So I hope as if now no problem, all good. We can start.
Sir, I have
Anybody
a
facing?
question.
Yes, sir.
This is the first class I'm attending. I have applied for diploma in programming. So did I miss anything, or is this the
No,
first?
no, nothing, nothing. It's just started. Yeah, it's just
Because I
started.
So,
see some sessions happened yesterday. May I know the recording link if it is
I,
so
used?
statistics.
I, it was
Okay,
statistics, and I don't think so. This meeting is also being recorded. So if you want, you can actually take the screenshot of the questions which I ask here,
all
Okay.
right.
and do
Okay.
solve those questions because those questions are really important. Okay. And I
Okay.
haven't taken some easy questions. It's like some standard questions, like medium level of questions. So even if I give you time and if you could not solve it in that certain time, do not get disheartened or anything. It's just that I want to discuss those questions to you. So I have deliberately taken those kind of questions. Okay. So, and it's not very difficult as well. It is solvable in the time what is given. So yes, so this is
Hello,
how the
sir.
plan for session is.
I just want to interrupt once, sir.
Mhm.
Sir, can we make a WhatsApp group so that we can discuss over there? Because this will be over today. But if we have some queries, so where will we ask?
Okay, so that is something you can do among yourself. That
But we
I
don't have
cannot do it.
contacts of you, or maybe whoever can assist, or other people who are in the this who are
You
preparing
can
for this
actually write
exam.
to support. You can actually write to support at the rate onlinedegree.iitm.ac. On this ID, you can write it to them. They'll respond to you.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. 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 So yes, so this is what plan for the session. So it's like why we need mathematics. So basically, we shouldn't. I won't be taking much time to tell you all this because I believe that you know the importance of mathematics in data science and programming. That's why you are here. So that is one thing. So I'll try to motivate you, maybe with certain explanations. I don't think so. It will be that helpful. What will be helpful is this second point, some model questions that will be really helpful for you. So you'll be basically solving with me. So, and I want you to solve this and give answers. I'll be giving you space for writing and all that. So that will happen. Then what are some recommended textbooks? We'll see what are those. Basically, there is nothing in that thing. It's just written, but still, just to write something, I've written something there. So what are some tips for your exam? So that is, again, you can pay attention to. And some questions and doubts from you. So that is something we'll do, okay? So why mathematics, right? So mathematics is the base for almost every techniques of data science, or let's say even if you are doing a programming. So again, you need mathematics because again, programming is some technical thing, and to understand that technicality, you need mathematics, right? Also, when you want to analyze something, like you want to do some quantitative data analysis, so again, there comes maths, right? Then if you want to identify certain trends and patterns in data, again, you need maths, right? Then if you want to, if you basically algorithms, right? If you want to create some algorithms, then again, you need mathematics. So that is just a small, I just don't want it to drag it more there. So it's just a small thing. It's like I just wanted to tell you, like, yeah, this is what importance are. So generally, again, continuing to the same slides, why the concepts of mathematics is needed for data science. So first we'll see what are some important things, okay? So usually there are two main topics which you can think of, basically like algebra and calculus. Now what in algebra? So there is a linear algebra, basically like computer uses this, right? For carrying out calculations efficiently, right? So this is something algebra, so you will learn that's part of mathematics, right? Then almost all models will require a computations through a linear algebra. That is something, if you are aware of something about data science or like programming, then you will find that yes, these are some things you will go across. And calculus, of course, in-depth knowledge is required in data science, and calculus is something that we should not skip. Actually, this is really like once you clear your this exam, then you will be enrolling for mathematics 2 and stats 2 and other courses, right? So wherein you will be dealing much with this, because these are like again foundations which is required for your other courses like machine learning. I'm talking in sense of data science, right? So like all the things, right? So again, these things are required, okay? Now for programming, it's like mostly, if you were to ask me, then you will be dealing with discrete mathematics, which involve concepts such as sets, relations, functions, graph theory, right? So these are the concepts which will be needed. Like, but when it comes to data science, you know that there are so many concepts which is coming in, and so that's what. So the plan for today's session is like, basically what I'll be doing is I'll be giving you a question, and I'll be giving you 3 to 5 minutes for that particular questions, and I'll show you how does that sample questions look like and all that. And since you are already there on this platform, then I think you have already joined through peer deck. So I do not have to really tell you how again to join this peer deck. So yes, I'll be giving you 3 to 5 minutes, and then I'll ask you to solve this. Maybe I can ask any of you, or I'll ask you to raise your hand, whoever wants to discuss that particular questions, you can do so. And then I myself will be discussing that. So that's what we'll do. So let's do this in this sense. Okay, I know you will have so many queries, but we'll take it at the end. Okay, so let's continue this flow of ours. All right, so this is how the sample questions look like. See, so what you will see is on the left hand side, the leftmost box you see there, you will have the descriptions of the questions, and the question which is to be asked, that is to be answered, will be projected at the center. And when you're using a, like, if you're using a desktop or a mobile, then you can see here at rightmost side there are two boxes. If you're using a mobile, you can see that center box, there you will have to answer the questions. And when you're using a desktop, you'll see it just above that, you can just enter the value. So but how do you do that, right? So you see, this is how the screenshot, it's basically a screenshot of your laptop was view. How does this look like? So you see here at, I think you can see my cursor. Can anyone confirm that you can see my cursor?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. So you see here at this cursor, so you'll have this description of questions here if you're using a laptop or a desktop. So I'm just talking about that. So you see here, you'll have a descriptions. Then here, what is that question that is to be answered? Then in your screen, you will see that there will be some options, or you will have some screen wherein you can actually enter some values, or like you are allowed to text or something that we all will be able to see. Okay. So, but your basically your name won't be visible, but your response will be visible. So I'll be able to see your popular responses. So that's what we'll do. That's what I'll get to see, and even you will get to see that. So if you're using a mobile, so you see you get a questions like this, and here at the bottom you will be portions for answering. Let's just quickly see this. How does it look like? The first question is just a just a test problem to check if everything is working fine. So how's your preparation going on for exams, right? So here you will be given a response to write. Okay, so I want you to respond there. So I can see like 10 of you have already given response. So it's nothing like you have to submit or something. You just write it. I'll get the thing. So see, let's see. So this is how I'll show the responses going well. So you see, whatever you write, we get to see here. Going well, not well, nice. Going well, it's excellent. So you see, your name or anything, it won't be visible. It's just your responses that will be visible. But again, this is something happening in the backend, but I can always get to know, okay, who has given what response. So with your IDs and everything, I'll be able to see. So yes. So you cannot write anything basically. So yes, whatever is to the context, that is something you have to write. So I haven't started yet. Okay. Good. Not need to prepare more. That's always there. Going on. It's tough. Need to improve to meet the model paper needs. Okay. Going well. Lots of fun. Nice. Need your guidance. Okay. Anyways, I'm here to guide you. Okay, good. So overall, this is how we get the response. So even if you start typing something, it will show here that you are typing. Confused with what is that syllabus? Okay. So that's the thing. Then see, if you are to ask me, I think you are already aware of that, what your syllabus are. If you're doing a programming, then you see that the contents of mathematics is divided into 11 weeks, right? So for programming, those who are writing programming, mathematics for programming, so you will not have calculus part coming, but for data science, everything is coming. Okay, so that's what it is. But for programming, mathematics for programming, you don't have calculus, except that everything you have. Okay, so this is another test problem. I just want to know how many of you are writing which
How
exam.
many questions would be there of
So,
maths?
we'll take up all these questions at the end. Okay.
Sorry,
I'll certainly tell you all this.
need your help. Where do I type the answer? Is it in the chat mode?
You just have to, so here you have to choose the options for this particular question. So you'll have two options, I guess. So you just have to choose one. You just have to select one. I'll get the response. You don't have to submit or anything.
So I have to type it on joinpd.com, right?
Oh, you are just asking how to join this. Yes, you have to go to joinpd.com and use this code, what you see here at topmost right corner.
Okay.
Below that time, you can see that code, but do not give any space in them. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so just go to joinpd.com and use this code. You'll be able to participate here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we'll take up the questions at end. So that's what. But let's see how it goes. So now, how many? Like 53 of you have already given response. So let's see what are the. Okay. So mathematics for data science dominate. Nice. And there are only 5. Then can I conclude that there are like roughly 5 to 10 who are waiting for mathematics for programming? Okay. So I can see there are a lot of you who is appearing for mathematics for data science, or like who is here for that. All right. So yeah. So even you got some idea like how many, what's the crowds is. So I think this is helpful for all of us, right? So let's switch to our some model questions. So this is something called Solve with Us. It's like very popular in Maths 1. It's basically like what you'll be doing here. This is one type of session what we take there. So okay, so let's just start with this. So as you are aware that week 1 is about sets, relations, functions, right? So I cannot take everything. So what I have done is I have taken some point from there. So it's just a gist of it. It's not everything. Then you have relations and functions, which is I'm not covering here because of we have our constraints, and I hope you understand that. So here it's a very basic formulas which you would have gone through your school days. So you see here basically the number of elements in A union B set. So here A is set, B is set. So the number of A union B. So A union B is another set. So the number of A union B is equals to number of A. So basically number of elements in A plus number of elements in B minus the number of elements in A intersection B. So these are just the basic formulas. Okay. So then it's no doubt, nothing you will have doubt here. It's just the basic thing is just Even if you haven't gone through the contents, you should be able to participate here. Only for that sake I have written this here. So it's just that much. So what about A minus B? So the number of elements in A minus B set is basically, if I have to tell you in another way, the number of elements in A minus B plus number of elements in A intersection B is equals to number of elements in A. Okay, so the rest all thing you can actually read this. Okay, and I don't have to really go through each and every lines here. All you have to keep it in your mind is this last formula for your next question, which I'll be giving you. That is the number of elements in A union B union C is equals to, so it's basically a set. So the number of elements in this particular set is equals to number of elements in A plus number of elements in B plus number of elements in C minus number of elements in A intersection B sets minus number of elements in B intersection C minus number of the element in C intersection A plus the number of elements in A intersection B intersection C. So this formula is actually useful for your next question. So that's why I just wanted to highlight it. I just wanted to highlight here. Okay. So here, this is what a particular question for you is, and I want you to give response for this. So you see there are three sets, X, Y, and Z, right? The cardinality for these sets are given. So basically set A contains 90 elements, set Y contains 110 elements, and set Z contains 120 elements respectively. And the cardinality for the set A union B union Z is 240. Okay, and the cardinality for the sets X intersection Y, Y intersection Z, and Z intersection X are 30, 40, and 30 respectively. Then the question is, what is the cardinality of the set X intersection Y intersection Z? Okay, so I got already one response. So I'll just give you 3 minutes. This is like, you just have to know the formula, substitute there and get the answer, right? So I'll mute all. So what I'll be doing is I'll be frequently muting you all, but I'm not muting you permanently. It's basically, it's not like you cannot unmute yourself. You can, but I don't want you to speak. Okay. So you just take 3 minutes to solve this. So it's 4:28. Take your time and solve this.
Sir, if I just enter the answer, will it be visible for you? Because I don't see any submit here.
Yes, yes, yes. That's what. You
Okay.
just enter the value. I'll be able to see. Yeah.
Okay.
If you want, you can take a screenshot of this and you can practice. So you see, whatever questions we discuss here today, you can give more emphasis to similar type of questions. So for example, week 1, there is a lot of content, right? So you see here in week 1, specifically, we have taken this topic, something involving Venn diagram or something, right? It can be some contextual problem wherein, we can add some context saying some real life thing, right? So that is also doable. But what you see essentially is questions which involves a Venn diagram, that kind of questions. So you can give a practice, you can give more emphasis to that. Okay. So that is what you can, this could be your strategy for preparation. Okay. So I could see like 46 of you have already given response. We'll wait for another minute. I guess you don't need more time, right? Or is there anyone who still need a minute? Or should we just go with the solution? Okay, so no response, no problem. Then I think I can go ahead with this. I can see like 90 of us are here, but 60 responses I got. So let's see what is the popular response. So most of you are telling answer as B. So let's see. So is there anyone who would like to discuss this? Anybody? You can just raise your hand. Okay, Arun Jensen, can you unmute yourself and speak?
Yes, sir. So all we have to do is just use the formula that you just gave, substitute in the
Right.
values, and then solve for n of x intersection y intersection z.
Yeah. So this was very straightforward, right? So just use the formula. You have already been given this cardinality of those sets. So you just have to find out this, right? Right, Jensen?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So thank you. So yeah. So so this is what the question was, and the question you had you were asked to find out x intersection y intersection z, right? So what you had been given, you had been given the cardinality of set x union y union z, which was given. Then cardinality of x was given, y was given, and z was given. Then the intersection for those x intersection y, these things was given. You direct had the formula x union y union z, okay, and you just have to substitute this, right? So what Aaron Jensen was telling was you just have to just substitute in this formula, you'll get the answer. So just substitute for x union y union z, which is nothing but 240, which is equals to cardinality of x, which was 90, y 110, and z, which is 120, and then for others you just have to substitute and just keep this as a variable, that is cardinality of x intersection y intersection z, right? So when you solve this, you get answer as 20, and I think most of you have given answers. Well, this question is very straightforward, as you could see, like it was direct formula substitution, right? So but you know there are other questions which involve some context wherein you have to do some kind of understanding. So you read the question, you understand, okay, what data is given. See, when you are able to find out what is this cardinality for these things, all you have to do is just substitute in that formula and get the answer. That's all, right? But there are certain questions wherein you will extensively use Venn diagram, wherein this formula will not find that much importance. Wherein when you will be asked to find out, okay, what is cardinality of x only, y only, and z only, like these kind of things, right? So at that point of time solving this becomes a bit trickier, but it is not, because all you have to do is you have to just divide these regions into different variables and just add these variables and find out the other. That's all. So you can get these questions in internet elsewhere too. There are ample of questions on this, so you can practice these kind of questions. Okay. So now comes the other thing. Now this is not a easy question, and this is not very familiar to all of us, and maybe you would have not gone through the schoolings also. So here, this is just a taste of data science wherein we are just using mathematics here, okay? So you see here in this question 2, here it says, Miss Ruby is a researcher. She conducts research on the decay of the quality of bananas, okay? She proposed 5 models. So you can see here on the model, there are 5, you can see 5 models given. So M1, M2, M3, M4, and M5, these are the model equations. So what is Ruby doing? She just conducted a research on the qualities of banana. So what is this x and y variables then, right? So in this description you can see in this model y indicates the quality factor or decay factor, which is dependent on x number of days. Okay, so the value of y varies between 0 to 20, where the value 20 denotes that fruit has no decay. That means if y is equals to 20, that this indicates that the fruit has got no decay. So that means on 0th day the banana was not decayed, but as the number of days increases, the banana starts decreasing. Okay, so that's what it is, right? So while formulating a model, she has to make sure that on 0th day the banana has no decay, right? So you know that on 0th day uh, it has no decay, in the sense it has to be 20, right? The quality factor y values on the xth day are shown on the table x, on the table 1. So you can see here on the right hand side there is a table, right? So this shows the quality factors. Quality factor is basically on which day what was the quality of this banana, or what was the quality factor in the sense, or a decaying factor, or the values of y was given. Okay, so you can see here on the table that on fourth day the y value was 4, on fifth day the y value is 4, on sixth day the y value is 3, on seventh day the y value is 1. So you can see that this is decreasing, right? So as the number of x increases, so basically as the number of days increases, the quality of this banana is, or the banana is basically decaying and it's tending towards 0. So that's what you see, right? So you have to find out what is the SSC value of the best fit model till 2 decimal places. Okay, so but most of you, I assume, like, you will be not knowing if you haven't gone through the contents what is been provided, or like if you haven't gone through the contents. So you would see that there is a hint given to you here. The SSC formula is summation 1 to n y given value minus y predicted value the whole square. Okay, so you can see here the n is 4. Why? Because the n indicates just the entry number. You can see here the first, you can see this table, you can see my cursor, there are 4 entries, right? So here I equals to 1 indicates this value, I equals to 2 indicates this second row, I equals to 3 indicates this third row, I equals to 4 indicate this fourth row. So this is what it is given. Okay, so all you have to do is you have to find out SSE value. The formula is given to you, but again, one tricky thing is here, that which model should you use. That is something you have to find out with your intelligence. Okay, so you see, this is not easy problem if you have not gone through the contents what we have provided or something. Like, if I don't know if it is provided or not. If it is provided, I was told that yes, it was provided. So you can practice these kind of questions as well. So maybe I'll give you another 5 minutes. So try solving this.
Sir,
All
can
you
I
have to
ask
do
you?
is just hmm.
Sir,
Yes, yes,
you
yes.
said that there are four values given, but in the problem there is another value that there is no decay on the 0th day. So will that be also considered? On 0th day, y will be 20, like that.
Ignore it, ignore it. So that is something that is something you will use it to find which is that model. So you ignore that value on 0th day. That is, that data you will not consider. So I equals to 4. That's all.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it will be interesting to see who will answer this. I'll give you 5 minutes for this question. I can see already 9 responses. Nice. So do not post answers in the chat window. You put it in the peer deck. Let's take the response from there, because this will be disturbing others. So we know this is from week 2 actually, SAC problems. Oh, 26 response till now. We'll wait for another 2 minutes and then we can start.
Sir, can you tell me, sir, can you tell us which YouTube video is this content in SSC, like this one? Can you?
Which YouTube video? It's week 2 basically on straight lines.
Okay, week 2 straight lines. Okay.
Yeah. I guess this hint won't be given in exam, so it's just a small formula which you can just remember this. Do you need some more time to solve this, or should we go ahead now? Okay, so I feel like you don't need more time. All right, so let's see what are the popular response, and I can see like 34 of you have given response. So I can see the answer is 10, and most of you have given answer between 2 to 45. But the popular answer is 10. Let's see how. Okay, so who would like to discuss this? Anyone? Raise your hand, please. Okay, Prabhavati, can you unmute yourself? Prabhavati, are you here?
Yeah, you're able to hear me?
Yes. Yes, 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 you are audible. Yes.
Yeah, there are
Okay,
five
Prabhavati.
which has been given.
Right.
So I don't know which we should use.
Okay, you don't know which you should use. So what is the answer you got? SSC value. Did you
Like
get the answer?
I just applied model 5 because it is in the negative form and it is coming if x is equal to 0, I get y is equal to 20. So I
Hmm.
used model 5, y is equal to minus 3x plus 20. And I got the
Okay.
answer as 104.
104.
Yeah,
I guess you won't be getting that as the answer. But why did you choose model 5?
because it is in the x is in negative form and when x is
Okay.
0, y will be 20, which means that on the 0th day, the 20 y is equal to 20 means there is no decay.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's the nice strategy. And I think you got the main thing. So basically that is how like what you are telling is perfectly right. So thank you. So let's see how where did you go wrong in your SSC calculation as we are going through. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So just to reiterate, yes, yes.
Sir, can you also tell me, like in the formula, y given value minus y predicted value, which one we can consider as given value and which one predicted value, sir?
Okay. So the given value is this what is given in the table, and predicted value is what you get from this model.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get the difference of them, just square them and then add them all, right? So you see, so you see here, basically here five
Even
models are given,
subtracted,
okay?
if I'm not wrong.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no problem, you can solve till then, yeah. But all that important was that you understand which model
Yes.
to be used and you got it right.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
The rest was calculation, so I think everybody does that calculation error, so it's okay. So you need practice, okay? So
Yeah,
let's
I
go,
do
let's
understand.
discuss this question, okay? Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So now let's discuss this, okay? So here five models are given. So first of all, you had to choose the right model, okay? Need not be every time you will get one model to be right. There might be two models which you might think it is right, okay, in your examination. So what you should do is you should get the SSE value using both the models, and whichever gives you the least SSE value, that will give you the best
Okay.
fit value. So you see, yeah. So you see that SSC values is basically sum squared error. So sum squared error is nothing but when y value, you see that what is this difference? Y given minus y predicted. If my model is perfect, right? So what is this difference gives me? The difference will be 0, right? So what is the least value your model can have? 0,
0.
right? Sorry, SSC value, the least value for SSC is nothing but 0, right? And it can go on to infinity, right? So if it is very, very big, if the difference is very much high from the given value and predicted value, you will see the SSC value is very big. That means the model which you have chosen might
Is wrong.
not give you the accurate, yeah, is wrong. It might not fit the data accordingly as per the given data, right? Your model does not fit the data as per the given data, right? So that's the thing you have to understand from here. So all right, so how do you choose it? So you see what you were telling is yeah, Prabhavati, as she was telling, she chose model 5. It's just because she saw this negative, the slope was negative, that is -3. And why did she chose it was because you see this, as x is increasing, what is happening to your y values? It's decreasing. That means the
Decreasing.
slope is being negative, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
certainly my M1 and M2 is wrong because here I have positive slopes. So this is an increasing type straight line, right? But M3, M4 and M5 all are decreasing type. It could be any. But you see here in this particular data what it tells. On 0th day, the banana has no decay. And when does banana have no decay? When y is
Y is
0,
equal to
right?
20.
So when you yeah, so when you substitute x equals to 0, why do you substitute x equals to 0? Because on 0th
0,
day you
3.
are finding. On 0th day you have to make sure that y is 20. So if you substitute x equals to 0 in M3, you get y equals to
15.
15. So you cannot choose this model because it has some decay value, right? You have to
Yeah.
choose that model which has no decay on 0th day, right? So
Yeah.
again, M4 you cannot choose because of the same reason.
18.
So you can only choose M5 as uh, Prabhavati did, right? So that is perfectly right. So now we chose our model. So we are choosing our model 5. Now once we get our model, now we have to find out SSE. So how do we do that? So now let's see that. So first of all, this is step 1, identifying the right model. It's the same thing written here. If you want, you can take the screenshot of it. It's just the same explanation I have written, what I explained. So you see the answer is 10, and I think most of you gave answer as 10 itself because that was the value it shows there. But the answer was between 2 to 45. So I think some of you were doing some kind of calculation error. So you see when you find this SSE, you will be using this formula. So you see here this yi is nothing but your given value, and this
Value.
mxi minus c is nothing but your predicted value, right? It's
Yeah.
basically the same. You can see here. I have substitute here in the second table. You can see in this table that minus 3x plus 20 is nothing but I'm using my fifth model,
Model
right?
5.
So what we are doing is we are just subtracting this value. So 6. So if you have to see your first entry number here, the first row, all you have to do is 6 minus 3 times of x, 3 times of 4 plus
4.
20,
12.
the whole square. So
8.
when you do this, you get 4.
Yeah.
You get 4. Yeah, and when you similarly when you go for second, you get 1. When you go for third entry, substitute the value in that formula, you get 1. And for
Yeah.
seventh, the fourth entry, you see the answer is the value what you get is
4.
4.
2
So
square.
but SSE is what? Sum of all these, right? So when you add
Yeah.
all of these, you get SSE is 10.
10.
So essentially, even this is not the best fit, but you can choose any other model and you find the SSE that will give you the very large value compared to this. So among those 5 models, the best model is M5 and the least SSE value you can have is 10. Okay. So this
Thank
is
you.
what. So yeah.
But sir, I
So
have a question, sir, here.
yes, yes.
Hello. Yes, sir. Model number 3 is having SSE 2. So how you said that other models will give SSE
But
high
you
value, but
cannot use that model. You cannot use that model because you have to make sure this condition. You know, this model was given deliberately for you to make wrong. It's just because you see on 0th day you have to make sure that there is no decay, but you see there is a decay, right? When y
Okay.
is 15, because when you substitute x equals to 0, you get y equals to 15. So it has some decay. So you cannot
Okay.
use this model basically. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So good that you pointed it out so that even others got this clarity on this. All right. So yes, so that's how you go ahead. So if you want to ask me where do you get these kind of questions, it's week 2 SSC problems. You can practice this problem. If we have taken this question here for discussion, then it has got some weightage for your examination point of view. So do practice these kind of questions, okay? All right. So let's do one polynomial problems, okay? So you see, basically what we did it in Maths 1 extensively was graphings of polynomial, which is something we are refraining here to do because that is a whole concept to teach you, right? So we will not be going into much of graphings, but what we'll be doing here is we'll try to solve it mathematically, how to solve these kind of questions, something like this, okay? So, but anyhow, we have drawn the graph also to understand that. So the question is, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highway wants to connect 3 aspirational districts with 2 roads R1 and R2, okay? 2 roads are connected if they intersect. So basically the road can go in any fashion. So they might intersect twice, thrice, or like any number of times. But since it says 3 aspirational district with the 2 roads, so basically it indicates that R1 and R2 they intersect thrice, 3 times, okay? So now some more data are given. The shape of the 2 roads R1 and R2 follows the polynomial curve f of x equals to this. You can see here f of x is equals to x minus 11 the whole square times x minus 13 the whole square, and g of x is equal to minus x minus 11 times x minus 13 respectively. So these are the 2 roads. So f of x and g of x indicates r1 and r2 respectively, okay? So all you have to do is you have to make sure that where all these where all f of x and g of x intersects. So whichever the places where it intersects, you can find your aspirational districts. So even in the hint it's given, if you have to read this hint, the coordinates of the coordinates of the aspirational districts are at the intersection points of road R1 and R2. So how do you get that intersection point? All you have to do is just equate them, right? F of x equals to g of x for what value of x, right? So that is something you can do here and find out all the values of x wherein they intersect,
So we
and that
are not
intersection
able to
points
put 2 numbers in that.
here in this you
In
will get
this
just one
deck,
value. Yeah, you will just get one value. You'll not get 2
coordinates
values.
has
That's why.
two numbers for
No, no,
coordinates.
no. But here you see here, you just have to find out x coordinate,
Okay, x coordinate.
not the y coordinate. Yeah.
Okay.
So what will be the x coordinate of the third aspirational district if the first two are at x intercepts of f of x and g of x? So it clearly says that 2 roads. So it gives you an hint as well in this particular question. You can see if 2 roads are at x intercepts of f of x and g of x. So 2 roads are already at somewhere x intercepts, right? You
Yeah.
just have to find out the x coordinate of third aspirational district. Okay. So now again you can take some 3 minutes to solve this, and I can see already 9 of you have given response. Good.
Sir, I have a query, sir. Hello?
Yes, yes. Related to this question?
No, sir, no. In general, sir, will we be given MCQ or we have to submit answer like?
So maybe we can just discuss this at the end. I have something,
Okay.
but since you asked me, I can tell you it's not MCQ. You don't have MCQ. You have MSQ and NAT.
Okay.
I'll discuss this at the end. But as if now, there are some more questions, some 5 more, or like not that much, some 6 more, 4 more. After this, we can take up that kind of questions, like related to your exam questions. Do you need some more time? Okay. I assume like you don't need much time, some more time. So let's see what are some popular responses. So the answer is 12. Most of you are telling the answer as 12. All right. Anybody can raise your hand here. Okay, Krishna Priya, can you unmute yourself? Krishna
Sir, am
Priya.
I audible?
Yes, 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 please.
Okay. Since
Yeah.
it says two roads are connected if they intersect, and also the hint says f of x equal to g of x, we have to just equate the polynomials given, which is x minus 11 the whole squared into x minus 13 the whole squared is equal to minus of x minus 11 into x minus 13. So
Right.
on simplifying the equation, we get a quadratic equation.
Yeah,
And
something like this, right?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And finally, we end up arriving at value 12 for x.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it right. So this was like, okay, if you understood the questions, you can, with certain hints, we can answer this, right? Right, Krishna Priya? So thank you. It's very well explained. So what you told is perfectly right. So yes, so let me also tell you how what it is. So what Krishna Priya was telling is certainly right. So two roads are connected when f of x is equals to g of x. So what do we actually mean by this when you do this f of x is equals to g of x? So you see when two points intersect, you see this f of x and g of x is nothing but your what you do is you basically get the y values, right? So for what y values, sorry, so when they intersect, that means the y values are same. So essentially what you do is you equate y values and then you find out the for what value of x these y values are equal, right? That's what you do. So that is what it's been done here. So when you equate both of these, f of x equals to g of x. So you see here, you can see here it's been equated. So x minus 11 the whole square. So what I'm doing is I'm equating both the roots r1 and r2 or f of x and g of x. So when you equate this, so you get something expression like this. So what I have done is this RHS I have taken it on the left hand side and then I have taken this as a common. So you see x minus 11 and x minus 13 is common here, right? So I can take out that. So you see I have taken that as a common and then separated this with a flower bracket, you can see. So when you do so, so you will be left with plus 1 here, right? So when you simplify this further on solving this, you get this expression under the flower bracket is essentially x minus 12 the whole square, right? So you get this x minus 11 x minus 13 times x minus 12 the whole square equals to 0. So you get this expression on simplifying all these, right? So this equations will give you three zeros basically at x Uh, so basically they intersect at x equals to 11, x equals to 12, and x equals to 13. So they were asking about third aspirational district, right? So what is that? How do we distinguish that third aspirational district? So you see in the question itself, it was telling the two aspirational districts are at x intercepts of f of x and g of x. So what are the x intercepts of f of x and g of x? It's 11 and 13. Okay. So x intercepts of f of x and g of x are 11 and 13, and this indicates that two aspirational districts are at 11 and 13. So where is that third aspirational district? So certainly the other root where both of them were equal, that was 12, right? So x equals to 12 is the x coordinate of third aspirational district. So you can see here in the graph as well, which is drawn here on the right hand side, it's a Desmos plot. Even you can plot this. You can actually go to desmos.com and you can use that calculator. So it's a graphing calculator. All you do here is you just write these mathematical formulas and you see a very nice graphs for this. So you see these graphs comes out there. Okay. So that's what I have taken a screenshot from there and I'm explaining you. So you see, this is what you see, these points. These are the places where these districts are, this aspirational districts. So this is about this question. So do you have any doubt in this question?
So can you show the last slide just for a minute?
Okay, yeah. Okay. So shall we go ahead?
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, welcome. So, all right. So now next question, that's question number 4. So here, it's given as let A be equal some maximum of 5 log of 100 modulus of sine 2x to the base 10, and B is minimum of log 10, log 10x square minus 10x plus 50 to the base 10. Okay. Now these functions are well defined. Now you have to choose. So basically here I shouldn't have given. So there is a mistake. This phrase should not be there. Choose the set of correct options. So this is something you can ignore for time being. So the question is, what is the value of a plus b? So all you have to do is find out what is the value of a, that is what is the maximum value of this expression, and b is nothing but the minimum value of this expression. So once you get this, all you have to do is just sum these two things and give me the value. So what is the value of a plus b? Maybe I can give you some 2 minutes for solving this.
Which week
Or
is
three.
this question from?
Okay, so
Which
this
week
is
is this question from?
okay, I'll tell you. So basically this question is, you can see here there is a logarithm as well as, what you can see is quadratic. So you cannot say it a particular week, but if you have to ask me, you can categorize this as a week 6 question, which involves logarithm. Okay. So I'll mute all and I'll give you 2 minutes, or maybe I can give you 3 minutes to solve
What
this.
is week 6, sir?
Yeah, so it's logarithmic function. Week 6 is on logarithmic functions. Yeah.
I mean, the training is done, is it? I mean, kind of sessions?
So it's basically no. What I'm telling is since I'm tracing it to match 1 content. So in match 1, you can see these in week 6 contents. So week 6 is nothing but on logarithmic functions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So you can take another 2 minutes and then try giving this answer. So some 17 response already. So you can take another minute. Can do some kind of analysis here, thinking what could be the minimum value of sine x and what is the minimum value of sine function or the maximum value of sine function, like these kind of analysis, and come to an answer. Similarly, when it comes to quadratic, you analyze this expression. First, you see this, it's a log of a quadratic function, right? So quadratic function at what value it's going to be minimum. So you see this is a parabola, right? Does it opens upward or downward? Just analyze that. It opens downwards, then what is the minimum value? The minimum value will be at vertex. Then find out the vertex value, substitute and see. So try out, give yourself like a minute and solve it.
Answer option in center.
Sorry?
I don't see the answer box to enter the answer.
You just have to enter the value. I'll get the response. You don't have to submit. Do you need some more time? Should we go with the solution discussion? Okay, go ahead. All right. So yes, maybe who told this? So Gaurav, could you help us how to solve this?
Yes, sir. Sir, so the maximum value will be at sine 90. So because maximum value of sine is 1, so at sine 90 we will be getting 1. So that will be log 100, because 100
Okay.
into 1 will be 100. So log 100 will be 2, because
Okay.
base is 10. So 5 into 2 will be 10. So maximum value will be 10. A will
Okay.
be
So
10.
A value is 10. Okay. What about
10.
B?
B value, the quadratic, we have to find the minimum value of the quadratic function. So we will differentiate it first, and then we will getting 20x minus 40 is equal to 0. So x will be min 2. So we will put the value here in the quadratic expression. At x equal to 2, we will be getting the value of quadratic expression as 10, and log 10 is 1. So the minimum value will be of b will be 1. So 10 plus 1 will be 11.
Okay. So nice. Yeah. So the answer is 11. So let's see what are the popular response. Yeah. So most of you have given answer between 10 to 12. So the answer is 11. So nice, Gaurav. Yes. So good that you were able to solve this. So I hope all of you understood this. So those people, since Gaurav used here calculus for finding the minimum value. So calculus is basically he did that derivative thing, right? Which is something you are not doing. So how to do that then, right? So I told you like earlier, you can see here on my screen. So step one. So yeah, thanks Gaurav. That was really well explained. So
Thank you,
here,
sir.
So here let's divide this in a step. So step one will be finding the value of A. So as Gaurav was telling, so you see what is the maximum value a sine function can attain? It's 1, right? So even Gaurav was telling at when sine becomes 90, it becomes 1, right? So what Gaurav did was he took 1 for that particular value. So even I did the same thing. You see here, A is equals to maximum of 5 log 100 times it was modulus of sine, right? So that was maximum value was 1. So we could have taken that as 1. So you see 100 times 1 is 1. So log to 100 to the base 10 is nothing but 2. So that gives me 5 times 2 is nothing but 10. So my A is 10. Okay. Similarly, finding the value of B. So there's other way of doing it. One way what Gaurav told was you can find the derivative of it. You can do the double derivative test, or like you can, since it's a minimum, we are already telling it, so you don't have to really confirm that whether it is minimum or not. So you can do the first derivative, find the value of x. So what I'm suggesting you is, for those who is not very good with the calculus, or for those who are with the programming, who are going to write the programming thing, so all you have to keep it in your mind is, see, this is a quadratic expression, it's log of that quadratic functions, right? So quadratic function, and see, it opens upward. You can see here even in the graph, the one with the blue, right? So this is a parabola opening upward. And why does it opens upward? Because you see the leading coefficient, that is the term of x square is positive, right? So if it is positive, so it's going to, parabola is going to open upwards. So since it is being an upward, so it will attain a minimum value where at vertex, right? So you can see, you, how do you get the vertex? Then you have the formula, that is minus b by 2a, right, comma g of, since I'm telling this function, this entire function as, this quadratic function as g of x, so all you have to do is substitute this minus b by 2a in this function, then you will get the other value. So when you substitute this, now you'll be asking what is this b and 2a. So it's just, here a is this 10, b is minus 40, and c is 50. Okay, so it's just the expression, quadratic expression, which is written in ax square plus bx plus c form. Okay, and then you find out what is this ABC from there, and then substitute this value in order to get the vertex. So you see this, you got this vertex which is at 2 comma 10. So what is the value you are getting from here? 10, right? So you just have to substitute here, because you see in B it says it's log of this value. So minimum value you are getting 10. So you can substitute this. So log 10 to the base 10 is 1. So that's the minimum value you can get. So you see the B is 1 then, right? So here there is, I guess there is a typo. Instead of log, it's like 5 OG I have written. So that's a typo. So you can correct that while you're going through. So it's log of 10 to the base 10. So I'll mute all. I'm getting some kind of disturbance. All right. So yes. So now we got A and we got B. So all we have to do is just sum them, right? So A plus B is nothing but 11 here. So the answer was 11, and I think most of you have given answer. So also you see there is a graph for this. You can see here, which is shown in the red. Log of this expression is something shown here, which is 2 comma 1. Okay, so you can see over here as well. So what is the minimum value of B that you are attaining? It's 1, right?
Sir, I have a
Okay,
doubt, sir.
so now, yes.
Sir,
Sorry,
can
I did
you
not ask
please?
if you have doubts.
Sir, as you have drawn a graph over here, sir, we will be given the question in the exam. Sir, but I don't think we will be able to draw the graph and we will just see and enter. Sir,
So you don't have to really draw the graph here. It's just for the explanation purpose I have given.
sir, but how we will know that the minimum value will be at the vertex?
That's what I told you. You see parabola opens upward, right? If it opens upward, what is the least value the parabola can take? At its vertex, that will be at the vertex, right?
Okay, sir, as it is quadratic equation, so it is by default a parabolic in nature.
Yes.
Okay,
You
sir.
got it right.
Yes, sir. Now I got the point, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
And see, there are questions wherein you are expected to draw the graphs. It's actually easy to draw the graph for this. It's log of whatever, like since we teach this in mathematics, if you are I don't know whether you have the contents or not, but this is something you can draw the graphs as well, but we'll make sure that we are not asking you much questions on graphing part. You can actually draw the graph for any degree polynomial, given that factors are provided to you, factors for that polynomial is given. Okay, so that is something you can do.
Hi, this is Suraj. I have one question.
Yeah, Suraj.
Yesterday in the session, we were told like if we were supposed to find a log of something, this is log 10, right? But for calculating these things, we will be given TCS calculator.
Right.
Can you can you tell us like if suppose this is not log 10, if suppose it is like log 3 or log 5 something, how can we do
You
it
can
in
still
TCS
use
calculator?
you can still use your TCS calculator. I think you will have that option.
Yeah, but I
It's available.
how to do for log 3 and 4 those things, can you show?
You can change the base and do it. Let's say, I'll tell you the formula. So it's basically, let's say, log of b to the base a, suppose, and a is anything greater than 0 but not equals to 1. Okay. So now you see that it's log of b to the base a, and suppose you want to convert this to the log 10. So what you can do is there is a formula. So log b to the base a is equals to log b, whatever base you take it. Let's say you are taking 10, log b to the base 10 divided by log a to the base 10. So you can use this, you can convert and then get the value. Okay.
Yeah, this.
I hope you understood. You understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Hi,
Yes.
Preeti here. Preeti here.
Yeah, hi Preeti. Yeah, Preeti.
I'm just wondering as to which all videos touches upon calculus in the given tutorials, because I understand quadratic equations are there as part of it, but the part of the sine and the calculus, I'm not really sure if I found any videos on that. Can you guide there?
Yeah, so it's from week 7, 8, and 9. These weeks are on calculus. 7, 8, and 9.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, so now any other doubt here in this particular question? If not, we can move ahead. Okay, so I assume you don't have doubt. So now let's go with some kind of graph theory questions. So I have not taken all the concepts. Again, I'm just taken one concept. So something I'll be discussing here is vertex coloring of a graph. So what do you mean by graph coloring or vertex coloring or coloring for that matter? So what you do here is you find the minimum number of colors required to color every vertex in a graph such that no two adjacent vertex have the same color. Okay, so basically what I did is I just read that statement, right? So what we are actually doing here is, you see, what you do basically is when two vertices are connected with an edge, you don't give them the same color. Or the adjacent vertices is nothing but vertices which share an edges. They will not be assigned the same color. Okay. So what is the optimal thing to do in a graph coloring thing is you find the minimum number of color. So that's the optimum thing you do in the coloring questions. Okay. So you are freedom. Now you see that how many vertices do you have? 7. So you can come up, okay, sir, we can give some 7 colors. But that is not the optimum thing to do here in the graph coloring, right? So you have to minimize the number of colors. And what is the condition that you have to follow? You have to make sure that the adjacent vertices do not have the same color. For an example, I have shown here, you can see it in the screen. You see that vertex C shares an edge with A and E, right? So vertex C and A cannot be given same color. So that is why you see they have different color. Okay. Similarly, vertex C and E cannot be given same color again because of the same very reason, right? But you see that vertex A and E does not share any edge, right? They do not share any edge. So what? So we have given the same colors, that is purple, right? So they can be of same color because this is the optimum. We are optimizing the number of colors, right? So we are minimizing the number of colors. So we refrain ourselves from using multiple number of colors. We keep the least number of colors, right? So we are using the same color. Let's say whatever the color I have given for A, I am using it the same color, right? Now see, look at E. Now E shares an edge with D and B and F as well, right? So now you see that what is the next thing you can do? Now I cannot give the purple color to these vertices, that is D, F, B and C, right? So you see they have different colors now. Now you see this E has been given red color, D has been given red color, B also has been given red color. It's just because B and D does not share an edge, so we can give the same color. Okay. Then you see that F is not been given a red color. It's just because D and F share an edge. That is why it is been separated with a different color. Now similarly, G shares an edge with D and F. So you can choose any of the other color which is different from D and F, because I cannot give G as a red color because D has the red color, and I cannot give G as a green color because it's already has this uh, basically this green color. So I just have to give the purple color. So how many colors do I have? 3 colors. To solve this graph, I need 3 colors, right? So vertex coloring for this is 3. All right. So I know this is so many things I told. Some of you still have doubt here. So don't worry, I have taken another example. So what is the strategy for doing this? The thing is, okay, you told, take a purple color and, some green color or any blah blah color, and you just told it, take it randomly, how to keep a track of it. So you see, I'll be explaining you a question and then I'll be explaining you. So you see there is a complex graph here, right? So now what we are doing here is we are finding the minimum number of colors required to color all the vertices of the given graph. Okay, and what is the condition? That no two adjacent vertices has the same color. Okay, so you see this, what should be the strategy is, so first you choose with any color. I have chose red color. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll start coloring from vertex A, and I will just assign everywhere that I can give A. All that I have to keep it in my mind is two vertices, if sharing an edge, I don't have to give that color. Now you see this vertex A, if I have given the color red, I cannot give it for C, I cannot give it for D, but certainly I can give it for E, right? And I can then give it for, if I'm giving for E, then I cannot give it for F, and I cannot give it for H, but I can give it for G, right? Similarly, I can give it for 3, right? It's just because E shares an edge with F and H, so I can give for 3 because that's not disturbing that criteria, right? Similarly, I can give it for K, Q. Can any of you spot anywhere else I can give red color? I'll just wait for 10 seconds and then I'll move ahead. So I guess no, right?
sir,
So we
this is
cannot,
P.
sorry, which? P.
No.
No, sir, no.
P cannot be done.
We cannot give P also, right? Yeah, we cannot give it anywhere else, right? So now next what? Now whichever is red, let's give that color. Now C and D can be given same color. So maybe let's say
Yes.
I'm using
C, D, and B
green color.
also. You can use same color.
So let's say I'm giving it for P. Okay. So this pattern will be different. That is okay. You can choose any other vertex. Let's say my favorite letter is P, so I have given P for that color, for that matter. Okay. So you can choose, this pattern varies. Okay. But the number of coloring will remain same. The cardinality for this will be constant. I mean, it will be same no matter whichever vertex you check. But all you have to do is obey that color. Now see again, what I have did is I'm obeying the same condition and I have colored the remaining vertex. Now you see this F. What about this F? F shares an edge with D and C. Now D and G. Now D and G is already assigned some two colors. Now I cannot give the same any of these two colors. So I'll mute all. Okay, so you see that I cannot give, so I'll have to choose the third color, right? So maybe let's say I choose yellow color. Okay, so you see with 3 colors I can cover this complex graph. I hope you got it. So do any of you have doubt here?
Sir, can I have doubt?
Yes, please.
No. Can we give a B green and P yellow? Is that fine?
B green and
Can we swap the colors between B and P?
yes, that is perfectly okay. You will get multiple patterns like this, but the cardinality remains the same.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so now what is the application then? It's just we are doing coloring and all this, right? So what is the application for this? So let's do an application question, assuming that we all are data science and programming students, so we can apply the concepts of mathematics. So now we have a question, something like this. A company manufactured 10 chemicals. Okay, certain pairs of these chemicals are incompatible and cause an explosion if brought into the contact with each other. Okay, so that means, let's say a chemical A and chemical B, they are incompatible, and if they are brought together, or if they share an edge, basically, if they brought together in the sense if they share an edge, So they tends to explode. So we cannot keep them together basically, right? So below graph, it doesn't show now. It'll be shown in the next slide. So below graph shows the incompatibility of the chemicals. Now each vertex represents the chemical, and each edge in that particular graph, which I'll show you, between the pair of a chemical represents that those two chemicals are incompatible. Okay. So as a precautionary measure, the company wishes to partition its warehouse into the compartments and store incompatible chemicals in a different compartment. Okay. So now here is the graph. So you see here, these are the chemicals. Now A, B, C, D, E up to J, it indicates that these many chemicals are there. Okay. And you see this G and F cannot be put in the same compartment. It's just because you see this edge indicates incompatibility, that J and F, if they are put in the same compartment, they will explode. Okay. So whichever this edge indicates, it shows that they cannot be put in the same compartment. That means they have to be put in different compartment. All right. So now this would have given you some kind of hint about coloring, right? If if J has been given, say, let's say a red compartment, I cannot put this vertex F in the same red compartment, right? Right? It's a vertex coloring problem, isn't it? So this is something you can understand by reading the problems, right? So now, since you understood this is a coloring problem, so could you tell me how many compartments are needed? So take 3 minutes or 2 minutes basically. So at 5:32 we'll start. So quickly solve this. Do you need some more time? Okay, I guess no. So let's start with this. So let's see what are the popular response. So the popular response is between 2 and 5, that is 4. So let's see how this is 4. So could you raise your hand and then explain this? Yeah, Lakshmi. Lakshmi, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir. J, B, D, H goes to one compartment.
Okay. So maybe
A, I,
yeah.
A, I, G goes to another compartment. E, F, the third compartment. C is the fourth compartment. Because C is connected to A, D, E, I. So C should be the fourth compartment. There should be four
All right.
compartments minimum.
Okay, yes, you got the answer right. But it's kind of really hard to understand just like saying the vertices.
Yeah.
So I think I should have to explain that.
Can
Yeah.
I interrupt you, sir?
Yes, 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 please.
How I analyze the C is connected to all the adjacent. So first I eliminated the C.
Correct.
So
Okay.
that's how I did. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank
You can start with this. Yeah, nice strategy.
Yeah.
Nice strategy, Lakshmi. Yeah, thank you.
Thank
So somebody was telling Deepika Sharma. Okay, the answer is 5. The answer could not be 5. Let's see why. Okay. So now, as Lakshmi was doing, she started with C. So I think that is a better strategy to do. Maybe I did not do it here. So you can do what Lakshmi did. So you see, we'll start with the same thing. I'll start with our red color. So we started with vertex F. So you see, if I have given red color to vertex F, I cannot give it to J, B, G, right? Because these are the three edges, that is Fj, Fb, and Fg. I mean, these are the vertices which shares this edges, right? So I cannot give them the same color, right? But I can give this, but I can give a red color to A. So if I give it to A, then again I cannot give it to D, C, E, right? Then again I can give it to I, or I can give it to H. But let's say I chose I. So if I chose it I, then I cannot give it to any other, I cannot give it red color elsewhere. Okay. So now what? Then what? Now what should we do then? So we'll choose some other color for coloring them. So maybe I'm using, let's say, green color here. So you see this, I can give it green color to J. I can give it to any other places, but this is what I chose. I can give it to G, I can give it to C. So if I give it to these things, I cannot choose any other vertices. Now you see, I cannot give the green color to H, and I cannot give it red color to H. Similarly, I cannot give it red color to E. It's just because you see A and E shares an edge, right? So likewise, you can do the same, draw the same conclusion, and you can understand this. Similarly, I can do the same with B, D, and H, but you see that I have to choose another color for E. It's just because E is sharing an edge with all other colors, right? You see, it shares an edge with blue color, it shares an edge with uh, green color, it shares an edge with red color. So I have to choose a different color for E, and that's why this fourth color comes into picture. So had you been starting with C or a E, what Lakshmi did was choosing C, you would have did it in a much faster way, I guess. So you could do it in this way, but anyhow, you will get the cardinality, what you get the cardinality will be same. So here, all these chemicals up to J chemicals, some 10 chemicals we had, right? So all these 10 chemicals could be separated into 4 compartments, right? So you see, you got an application of graph theory here. All right. So now, do any of you have doubt here? I guess you shouldn't have, because we discussed somewhat like 3 questions on coloring, maybe 3 examples. Yes. Any doubt?
Yes, sir. I want to ask that from which from where?
Week 10. Week 10.
Yeah, from okay.
From week 10. This content is from week 10. Okay.
Don't we have an mathematical way of solving this, or is it just
Okay. Yeah.
we have to do it?
You have some kind of algorithm, but I don't think so. We will be suggesting you that to go through that right now, because that's kind of complex. And here we won't be giving you a very big graph as well. It will be like small graphs like what you see here. So I think with some kind of analytical thinking, you will be able to answer this. So that is
Hello,
doable. Don't worry. Yes, yes.
sir.
That
Can
is
you hear
what
me?
they asked in the. The questions will not be based on the algorithms, just way on the
No.
analytical side,
It
right?
won't be given. It won't be given. Just analytical thing will
Okay.
be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Thanks.
yes. Any other person? Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, Deepika.
So I'm asking that whatever strategy I am using, I'm getting the same sets, right?
Huh.
Like
Basically, what
blue
the
one,
pattern might
blue one.
differ.
Okay,
Hmm.
blue one will be B, D, and H, and the sets will be the same from
Need
where
not be.
from
This
wherever
might go
I'm
unique.
starting.
Okay, so is it unique for this? If it is, then it's then maybe it can be, but it's not the case. you might have a different patterns, but the number of coloring, the minimum number of coloring required will be constant. That will be fixed. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. The pattern might
Excuse
vary.
me,
You
sir.
can choose any color. Yes.
So, I mean, what kind of questions will come from depth first search and breadth first search? Like, do
Okay.
we
So
need
there
to
are,
study in detail?
yeah, I think so. If you can study, it will be good. But since I'm discussing coloring, you can give importance to this as well. So when you're doing depth first for DFS and BFS, essentially there are two kinds of problem. One is like we give you a graph and then we ask you to find out the sequence for, maybe we ask you what is depth first search, or basically what is the subgraph, or like DFS tree or BFS tree. That is one popular thing. And sometimes what we do is we might give you a tree and then we ask you like, okay, which among these edges could be the edge in the original graph, like these kind of questions. I think these questions are given to you. You can give a practice to that. Okay.
Uh,
There
can
are
you
only two kind of
explain?
questions.
Can you explain that eliminating C method which she gave? One person gave, right? Can you?
Eliminating C, no, see, I'll tell you why I was giving emphasis to this is because you see what is a degree of C? Some 4 degrees, some 4 or more than 4, it's 5 degrees. So the moment you see that this is 5, so you know, like, this gives you an idea that okay, where all edges that can have a different color, like you might think it in a, I mean, that could be a better strategy in a way, because she shares an edge with so many other vertices, right? So that gives you a tendency to choose a different color immediately, right? And then you will have two or more than one colors for choosing the other vertices. I mean, it's just up to in practice, but what she did
Yes.
was one of the ideal thing. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So on BFS and DFS, those are only the two problems. Just you can give a practice to that. Okay. All right. So now here comes a calculus part wherein I'll be discussing two questions. Those who are with the programming can bear with me for another 10 minutes. Till then we can get it done with this. Okay. And then we can take up some questions and some tips and all that. Okay. So you can just wait for 10 to 15 minutes if you don't want to do this calculus part. But anyhow, you can just give a practice to this. If you can learn, it's good. It's always good, right? So here you have been given, if x minus y is equals to 1, find the least value of 2xy. Okay, so you take 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes is more, but just still take 2 minutes and solve this.
Can you comment whether x and y are positive natural numbers? They can be negative as well.
Someone asking any question? It was very
Oh,
hearable. Can you speak louder?
yes, yeah, my voice is audible.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying,
good now.
can you comment whether x and y are natural numbers or they can be integers, negative or negative numbers as well?
Can be negative numbers as well.
It is for data science, sir, maths for data science.
Yes.
Which week?
This is calculus, so I think this is week number 9. 9. Yeah, this is on 9. Okay, so do you need some more time? I guess no, right? So let's see what are the popular response for this. Answer as 0. Okay, let's see. Okay, then I guess you guys need to work on your calculus part. What is the least value of 2xy? So let's see. Maybe it can be 0. Let's see what. Okay, do anybody? Okay, I don't know if you can see my screen. So do any of you want to discuss this? Okay, Aaron Jensen. Is there anyone else? Because he explained it before. Is there anyone else who want to discuss this? If not, then you can go ahead, Aaron. Lakshmi, who too explained. Anybody else? Arun. Okay. So we'll give a chance to Arun Reddy. Yes, Arun.
So can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
So we say x is equal to 1 plus y and we substitute in xy. So it becomes a quadratic in y and then we differentiate it once and we get the value
But
of
how will
y.
you? Okay, but how will you know that is the least value or that will give you the maximum value?
We differentiate again.
Okay, yes. Yeah, you do the second derivative test to check whether it is really a least value or the most value, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Arun. Yeah, so that was a simple thing that one can do this. So you see, I can see there are some 109 people here, but only 30 of you are giving responses. I think you guys are tired now, is it?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, right?
No.
Okay. So you
No,
bear
sir.
for another. All right. So you
Absolutely
bear.
not.
There is.
No, sir.
Okay. So there is one more question. We'll discuss that question. So I want this energy. So let's see this. So what Arun was telling, it's the same thing even I did. So what he basically took it in a, he took it in a, I don't know, yeah. So what he did was like he just converted to one variable. So here what I'm doing is I'm converting in terms of, I'm converting y in terms of x, right? So I just substitute that value here to the second expression, that is 2xy. And now I'm using this y is equals to x minus 1 to this. So now what do I get? I get a quadratic equation, right? Now see, this is a quadratic equation, and so what you can do, you can just do the first derivative, equate it to 0, and you find that x is equals to 0.5, right? And when you do the second derivative test, you see that that when you get f double dash of x being 4, which is greater than 0, which indicates it's a point of minima, right? So certainly this x equals to at x equals to 0.5, I'm getting what? I'm getting the minimum value. So what I can do is I can just substitute this value to the main expression, that is 2xy, or I can get the value of y. So you see that the value of x is 0.5, then the other value of y is going to be what? Minus 0.5, right? So when you substitute this to any of your function, so you get that the minimum value that the expression what you saw it earlier could attain is minus 0.5, right? So, but the answer what you were giving was 0. Most of you at least gave the answer as 0, which was incorrect. So you see, this is very simple. All you had to do was just some changes here and there, arrive at some expression, optimize it in terms of, first derivative and second derivative. To others, if you don't wanted to do derivative test also, what you could have understood from here was this is a quadratic expression. You see the leading coefficient is positive, the parabola opens upward, so the minimum value is going to be at vertex. So you could have actually found out the vertex from here, and then you could actually get the values, the other values, right? So this was also doable. Okay. So now I have another question. So here this question is kind of very big and very comprehensive. So, but it's actually not that big though. If you just read it, you can just read this question. Yes, yes. Any
Why
doubt?
did we differentiate the last question for last quadratic equation?
Here, why did we differentiate it? Okay, because you see, you wanted to find out the minimum value. Okay, so when you do the first derivative, you get some values at which the tangent is being 0. And when you do the second derivative test, it tells you whether for what value of x that entire the given expression becomes takes the minimum value or the maximum value, right? So that's why the derivative comes in here. I hope that is okay.
Basic usage of taking the derivation is to know the slope of a tangent.
So when you do first derivative test, all you know is the slope of a tangent. And why do you equate to 0? Because you make sure that at that point, it's basically when you actually draw the curve, you will find there are many critical points, right? So when you do this second derivative test, you actually find out that local minima and local maxima when you equate to 0. So you see at local minima and local maxima, at critical points, the slope is actually being 0. So you equate it to 0. But you don't know whether that is a point of local minima or local maxima. So that is why you do second derivative test to know whether that point is whether the point of minima or maxima. So when you get second derivative test greater than or a positive value, if it gives you a positive value, then it indicates that that is a point of minima. But when you get it as lesser than 0, then you say that is a point of maxima. Okay, and that's how you understand. So, but here in this particular question, it clearly says find the least value of this. And there is just one x value that is you are getting from the expression. So that is by default it is like giving you the least value, because the examiner has kept in mind that you don't have to do really a second derivative test, and it's just that you get the value of x and then substitute and get the minimum value. That's all. Okay.
Sir, one small doubt, sir. How did you get this 4x minus 2 suddenly? I lost, I'm not able to connect.
This one, okay, this one. 4 greater
4x
than 0.
No, not that one. After 2x square minus 2x, got 4x minus 2. How it is?
Okay, yeah, you are finding the derivative. You see this, you do this f dash of x. So you're differentiating this function.
Oh,
so
okay.
when you differentiate this term, you get what? 4x. When you differentiate this term, so you just get 2.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So all right, no doubt here. I guess no. All right. So let's start with this particular question.
So before you go to next question, how many such questions are left now?
Yeah, so this is the last question what I'm discussing. But it has got 3 parts. But that will be done soon.
No problem. No problem. Please. Thank you.
So now, I'm not going to read this question. It's better you read it. So here you have been given 2 figures. Figure on the left hand side and the right hand side. And the area, the enclosed area, it's basically indicates what do you say, the error in prediction. Okay. And you have been given functions f1, f2, g1, g2, and the function expressions is also given here in this comprehension question. Now you have to answer this. What will be the difference between the minimum value of g2 and f2 in the interval 0 to 1? You have to enter the absolute value. So you have to enter the positive value. So I guess this is, though the question is very comprehensive, but I think what you have to answer is very small.
This is from which week?
Yes. So this is again from week 9, 7, 8, 9. So I think this is from week 9. Integration.
Sir, are you sure about this? The YouTube videos that we got have all these logarithms corresponding to week 9, or is it some other YouTube link that has to be followed for calculus separately?
Actually, calculus part is given separately.
Okay.
Can someone share the link there?
Yeah,
exactly, because in the syllabus, whatever the playlist has been given,
That would be
it
great if
doesn't
you can
cover
share
this
on the
part.
chat mode itself, please.
Yeah.
A
Can
couple of
someone
things
share it
hasn't
in the
been shared
chat?
actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever hasn't been shared in that syllabus part, the link which was shared, basically the document, if you can share that with us, it will be helpful. So thanks, Abhinav. If you can share the link, it will be better. But
Yeah, great. Just paste it in the chat mode itself, please. Thank you.
All right. So maybe like you can take another. It's like very easy question. It's just that you have to just read this question and look at the graph and give the answer. Do not get into the complexity part here. So what I'll do is I'll mute all, because sometimes we forget to unmute ourselves. Okay. So take a minute to solve this. So you see the left hand side graph indicates the company A and the right hand side indicates the company B, and the enclosed area is nothing but error in prediction. Okay. And F1, F2, G1 and G2 are some functions whose expressions are given here in this questions. Okay. And look at what is asked in the question. What will be the difference between the minimum values of G2 and F2 in the interval 0 to 1? You have to enter the absolute value, that is a positive value, that is something you have to enter. All right. So could someone, maybe will not give much time for this, because I think we shouldn't be breaking our head integrating here, because that is something you don't really have to do in this particular question what is asked here. Okay, so let's see, maybe do you want some more time, or should we just discuss this? Okay, so let's discuss this. What is the answer? The answer is 1. So could someone tell me why the answer is 1? Just raise your hand. Yeah, Srajan.
Yeah, but again, I didn't go through that calculus part. So basically, I looked at the graph, and it's clear that in G2 and FT, if you see, both goes minimum at the starting of the year. So E per
Right.
0 is 1, and F1, F2 of X is nothing but X, which is 0. So difference of them absolute 0 is 1.
Simple. Yeah, exactly. It's just that you had to do. It's just to build a motto that we have given this question, this particular question, so that we get familiarized with this. Okay, so all right. So here all you had to do is what will be the difference between the minimum value of G2. So could you look at the graph and see what is the minimum value this G2 is taking? It's happening at x equals to 0. So which is basically at y-intercept, you can look. The minimum value of G2 is 1. What is the minimum value of F2? That is 0. So what is the difference between these two? So 1 minus 0 is 1. So do you have any doubt here in this particular question? Anybody?
No formula about that.
No formula here, nothing was needed actually. It was just simply asked, like, sometimes we see the question and then we have that phobia
Yeah,
that
so
this is
reading the
not
question
doable.
itself was a tedious process.
So
Right.
it's for confusion only.
No, you cannot say, because you have another parts here. So
Okay.
it's not for the confusion, yes. So it's just that you should not block your head when you're doing your questions. You see, generally what happens is, first of all, people get scared with maths, and if they say a big comprehensive question like this, they'll block your head. I mean, that itself will block your head, and then you have defeated yourself at that moment. Then no matter how easy question is, you won't be able to answer. So do not get like this. If you have a big comprehension problem, keep patience, read it. What you will be asked to answer will be really small. Okay, so now, okay, so this particular question is like very straightforward. All you have to do was just find the minimum value. It's the same thing written here. Those who want to take the screenshot can take, but it's the same explanation what I gave it. Now let's go with the other part of it. Same graph, same everything. What you have to do is, what will be the error in prediction for company A? So company A is this left hand side. Okay, those who is feeling bored to read this, I'll tell you what you have to really do here. What will be error in prediction for company A? So this left hand side graph indicates the company A, basically the profit profile of company A. So you see this shaded region, this indicates the error in prediction. So you have to find basically this area, this shaded area. That will tell you what is the error in prediction. So that's all you have to do. So all you have to do is identify what is your G1. So G1 it's given there in the question, it's root x, and your F1, right? Integrate them. What will be the interval for integrating? That is something you can identify from the graph, right? And you have to subtract something from something, then you will get this answer. So even if basic knowledge of integration, definite integration, if you know this, you will be able to answer this. So let's see how many of you can answer this. You can take another 2 minutes. Okay, I got some 2 responses already. Okay, I think we can discuss this solution, but let's see what are the popular answers. The popular answer is 0. Okay. So see, one disclaimer I would like to tell you is, see, the normal tendency of us is, to guess the answer which will be like 0, 1, 10, or like something with multiples of zeros, right? Do not do this, because even we understand that the student tends to give the answers in terms of 0, 1, 10, 5, these kind of numbers. So we keep our values very different. So do not give that answers. And I don't see like you will have any of these options coming in your NATs or something, right? So be careful about it. Those who are guessing. So no worries about that. So let's see how many of you can answer this. Can any of you raise your hand to discuss this? Okay, okay. Now, Masum, yeah, Masum Bansali, are you here?
Yeah, yes. Am I audible?
Yes, 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 please. Yeah, could you just tell me
So
the approach? Just tell me the approach, how you are
yeah, so
solving
what I
this.
did was like we have two equation. Like one is like f1 of x and second is g1 of x. So I did the integration of g1 of x minus f1 of x from the
Okay.
limit of 0 to 1.
Ah,
So
okay.
after solving that, I got the answer as 5 by 12, which is like 0.416 or something.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think that is right, Masum. So thank you. So perfectly right. That is perfectly right. So what Masum did was this, right? The error in prediction of company A is nothing but the area enclosed in the functions f of 1 and g1 of x in the interval 0 to 1, right? So all you have to do is just find out what is your f of f1 of x and g1 of x. You can actually, if you are very much fine, very much thorough with this, you can actually merge this, get the difference, but you can do it individually as well. Let's call this area under the curve f1 of x with interval 0 to 1 as a1. So when you do this, when you integrate it, so you get x. So f1 of x is nothing but x cube, right? So when you integrate this, you get x to the power of 4 by 4, and with the limit 0 to 1. So once you substitute this, you get 1 by 4. So this is our area A1. Okay. So similarly, your area A2 is nothing but G1. From the graph, you can see that, that G1, so not from the graph, but from the data, what it was given, G1 of x is nothing but root of x. So when you integrate that, so it's good. Basically, you can write this, when you're doing integration, you can write this as x to the power of 1 by 2 and then do the integration part. So when you do this, you get this integral, and then just substitute the limit and you get this as 2 by 3. So I'll tell you what is this A1 and what is this A2. So you see this, uh, A2 is basically this entire region. So it includes this shaded region plus this unshaded region up to 1. So this entire region, okay? And F1 is just this below region, this below region. So what are you doing? Entire region of G1 minus the entire region of F1, which is this. So if you can chop of this part from this entire region, you get this shaded region. So that's what you are doing there. So you see this, when you do this, when you do this A2 minus A1, it turns out to be 5 by 12. What Masum even got this. Am I right, Masum? You got the same value, right? 5 by 12?
Yes, I got 5 by 12.
Yeah. So this is what the error in prediction for that particular company A. Okay. Okay. So now we have another questions on this. So here you have to choose the correct option. Okay. The first option is the error in prediction for company A is more than that of the company B. So you see here all these options are comparison between this. So you got the error in company A. All you have to do is find out the error in company B and see which is giving you more error and choose the correct options from here. Okay. So do this. So take another 2 minutes. And this is our last thing. Then we can discuss we can take up your doubts. And I have some tips to give maybe. So I can discuss that as well. I think we can discuss this because all you had to do was you had to find out the error, the predicted error in company B, because you have already know what is the error in company A, prediction in error for company A. So all you had to do was just do the comparison thing. But let's see what are the popular responses. So I think like 18 of you have given response. Most of you are saying answer as B. So what is B? The error in prediction for company B is more than that of A. So the error in B is more than that of A. Okay. So yeah. So again, like who wants to discuss this? Can raise your hand. Krishna Priya, Kanan. Okay, Kanan. Kanan? Kanan K?
Am I audible?
Yeah, Kanan, please.
Okay,
Tell
so
me.
in the previous sum, as we did for the other company, we have to do the similar one, integrate
Right.
g of x and f of x and apply the limits and find the value. So it will be
Okay.
like e power x integration is e power x, apply the limits 1 and 0. And we know e value is 2.78, which will be roughly 2 minus 1, 1, and minus for the other one, it is x squared by 2. When we apply limit, it will come down to half. So when we compare the company's prediction error in prediction, we understand the company the error in prediction for company B is more.
Right. So yes, thanks, Karan. So you told it right. So it's just the same way we'll find the integration for company B, error in prediction for company B, right? So the same way as we did it for the previous one, we'll do the same thing. We'll find out what is the error, right? So when we do this, we'll do this first. We'll find out the area under the curve F2. So you see this F2 is, sorry, G2. Okay, so maybe G2 minus F2 we are doing here because G2 is this entire region. So this shaded region plus the below region, and F2 is just below region, this region. So when you subtract G2 minus F2 in the interval 0 to 1, you tend to have this shaded region. So that's what we do. So you see here, so it should be A4 minus A3. So you individually integrate and get the value. So you get something like A4 is nothing but E minus 1 and A3 is nothing but half. So when you get the difference, you get something like this. So, but you find out that this value is actually greater than 5 by 12, and therefore the error in prediction for company B is more than that of the A. Okay, so that's how you'll be able to. So do you have any doubt in this particular question, any of you? I think you should not have doubt here. So let's go with the other things, what is to be done. So generally, I mean, you tend to ask what is book for reference and all, and I just wanted to give you an answer. So there is basically no book for reference for mathematics for data science 1. What we generally, how we have created content is just that we have gone through the various other things, then we found out, then we made our own questions. So it's just that way we have created the questions. You will not find these questions anywhere. So it's like that. And but if you want to give some practice to similar kind of question, at least this calculus and other things, you can actually refer these NCERT books. These are some standard books which you can actually practice on, so which is 10th, 11th and 12th classes. But again, I'm not sure like how much it will be related to us, but it's just that if your basic is very weak and if you want to feel like some part is some part you need some kind of extra effort that is to be done, so you can go to these books and get your I mean solve as many questions you want, so you can do that. So some tips for your exam. So basically what I would say is whatever the questions we have done it here, do solve these questions, right? So do similar kind of questions, do it, because I'll assure you like at least some questions or similar kind of questions you will definitely get it in your exam. Okay, because the paper is made and I have seen the paper and that's why I'm able to tell this. So I'm telling you this. Okay, so whatever the questions are discussed here, do practice them, or similar questions, do practice them. Okay, so you see there are two types of questions that you get. One is like NAT's type question and MSQ type question. So MSQ is nothing but you will have multiple select questions, and NAT is nothing but numerical answer type. So you will be given a question, you have to enter a numerical value. So here there is clicks for both. See what happens in NAT type problem is where all we do error, I'll tell you. It's basically, see, you solve a question and you know like maths you need a paper to solve and all this. You first of all, wherever you go wrong, you won't get the answer, so you have to be very cautious. Other mistake what you do is even after getting the right answer on the paper, but you will type the wrong answer, right? That is also a way of not getting the marks, right? So that also happens. Sometime what happens is uh, let's say you got the answer as 5, but by mistake you might give answer as 50 or -5 or 0.5, something like this. It does happen and I have seen many people doing this. Or sometimes they give some different answer, or they might give the answer for some different question also. So you have to be very careful when you have a NAT type questions. You have infinite possibilities of doing error, so you have to be very cautious. It's not like your MCQ wherein you have 4 options, you just have to choose one, so you'll have 1 by 4 chance of getting correct. But MSQ in other sense, it has better chance, you might get more options to be correct, right? So you might be awarded more marks, but there is again a twist here. If you select a incorrect options, you will not be given any marks. Let's say a question is given with 4 options, among them 3 are correct. Okay, so now you chose all 3, or let's say you chose 2 correct options, but by mistake you selected the other option which is incorrect. If you do so, you will lose all your marks in the sense for that particular question. Okay, so that is something. So when you're doing your MSQ questions, be extra careful for choosing only those options which is correct, which you feel which is correct. Do not push yourself more for getting, you know, on and on marks for that particular question. If you are very much certain, then select multiple options. Otherwise, if you are see, if it is MSQ, at least 2 options will be correct. I mean, even that is hard to say. It may be like one option is also correct, so at least one option will be definitely correct, that I can say, right? So you have 1 by 4 probability of getting your correct answer, and if it is 2, then you have a probability of 2 by 4, which is half, right? If it is 3, then again 3 by 4. So this is the trend, but again, do not land up choosing an incorrect options, because you will lose all your marks. Okay, so if you want to build up, if you want to solve more questions, of course, do solve these questions. So this is all from my end. Thank you. So now you can ask me questions
How
one by
many
one.
questions are there in the exam?
Okay, so I'll finish this question and then I'll just finish this question. So how many questions are there in exam? So see, essentially we prepared some 10 questions. Of these 10 questions, there are some, comprehension questions, which includes sub questions. So you might see the number of questions might increase to somewhat like 15 or something, 15, 16. It's not fixed. But what I'm saying is essentially you have 10 questions, but some questions might have sub questions, and therefore the number of questions might increase, and therefore you can count questions to be around 15 or 16 or something like that. Next question, please. One by one.
Sir, how many marks, sir?
Marks will be, see, it doesn't matter how many marks, but I think you will be given marks for 50, but we bring it down to 100, I mean, bring it up to 100 and then we evaluate it. We do something like that. But it will be
Because
for
in
50.
English they mentioned it as 25. So if it is 100 marks,
It
then
doesn't matter. See,
okay.
even I can actually make it for 12.5, but I will raise it up to 100 when I'm doing the calculation. So it really doesn't matter what marks it is, right?
So this is an online test, right, sir? Or do we have to come to any venue, or how about?
I guess you need to go to the venue and then write. It's not online exam.
Would we be provided with a desktop, or do we have to carry a laptop?
I think, I mean, you'll be provided, you'll go to this TCS center, you write these exams, right? So they'll be given, you'll be provided a system for answering and all that things. You don't have to carry your laptop or anything.
Can we carry our scientific calculators, or would be given a log
No,
table?
that is something not allowed. Log table is also not allowed. You will be given a scientific calculator, which will be virtual, provided by TCS.
So
Can you
we are not
mention
supposed to carry any
weightage
device.
based on weeks?
No. Okay, so you will be sorry, what? One person, yeah.
Weightage based on the. So what is the weightage based on
Weightage.
the weeks? I mean,
So
which, yeah.
yes. Okay, so weightage is you can actually count. Say if you are you are writing mathematics for programming, you can give more weightage to calculus. So weightage wise, if you can ask me, it will have more weightage in the sense like 25%, and rest all will be distributed elsewhere. Similarly, but you see, and when you are doing this mathematics for data science, there is no particular specification because you will have intermixing, and we have made sure that we are covering each week's content. Okay, so so you will actually have to read all that thing. So that's why I'm telling you whatever we have
Excuse
discussed
me, sir.
here.
Sir,
Let me
do
finish
we
this.
need to? Okay.
Yeah. So whatever we have discussed here, you can keep this as one blueprint kind of thing and practice in this domain. That is something you can do. And since you have less time, but be thorough with the other formulas as well, okay? And do as many problems you can. So if you have to ask me overall, like what will be the weightage, that is certainly we haven't fixed it because we have covered all the weeks. So all the weeks has got its importance, okay?
What is the duration of the exam, and all the sections go into the duration, is it, or how is that? Each section has a separate duration.
So
What
I'll
is
tell you. So basically, like per course, you will be given 1 hour, and I think you are writing 4 exams, right?
Yes.
So 4 exams means 4 hours will be given, and I think there is nothing like sectional time. Like it's not like 1 hour given to English and 1 hour given to maths. So I think you can actually do this. You can finish your English in like say a half an hour, and you devote your more time for maths, like 1.5 hours. You can do that. You can optimize that because this is something happens for the regular batch student, like the one who goes with the foundation and all this. So I think the same will be for you, but 1 hour for sure per subject. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Would they allow any break in between, or it's a continuous
I
4
don't
hour?
think so. You have break. You don't have break here.
Yeah, should we study this graph theory algorithms in detail?
I think yes. You should. You can give more emphasis to this coloring, then independent set, then you have some vertex cover concepts, then BFS and DFS. Give more emphasis to these graph coloring. If you're a programming student, give more emphasis to BFS, DFS, this coloring concepts, then independent sets and vertex coloring. Sorry, this thing. What do you say?
Shortest path algorithms?
No, not those things. You mean that Dijkstra, Bellman-Ford, all that, is it? No, not
Yes.
not those. Not those.
And if a data scientist student, what one should emphasize upon?
You can give more emphasis to what I discussed here, and you can give emphasis to your independent set, then vertex cover, these kind of things. BFS, DFS, I'm not sure, I cannot recollect whether you have to really give much importance to that or not, but I'm sure about what I told earlier before, yeah.
What about for
Okay.
programming candidates, sir?
You
Diploma
have to
in
give more emphasis to calculus, special emphasis to BFS, DFS.
So calculus is not in our syllabus, right, for programming?
Yes, you don't have calculus in your syllabus.
In that case, emphasis has to go for which of the topics in mathematics, sir?
Calculus. Sorry, this thing. What do you say? Graph theory. Like you can say that substitute from, like there might be, like the one, since they are not given, you are not given calculus, so you say like some part of the, instead of we giving you calculus, we are substituting with more concepts of graph theory there. Okay.
Does this imply that calculus becomes important for data science, guys?
Calculus, yeah, you have to pay attention to calculus. At
Great,
least,
thanks.
yeah.
You were saying something. Please add on that tip as well, no?
Yes.
I'd be grateful.
Yeah. So you see that you should, if you want to ask me, be thorough with your differentiation formulas, integrations. It won't be very much depth questions. It's like very straightforward what you would have studied till your 10th or up to 12th. If you know your those kind of integration, it's much better. It's done. Then sequences and series, you might expect a question, but I'm not sure about sequences and series if you have any questions. But yes, integration and definition, differentiation, you have some questions, yes.
A little hard, sir. It's been about 31 years when I last read this.
I don't think so it's that hard. If you know the formula and if you can apply the concepts, then I think you should be doable. But since it's, as you're telling, it's been like 31 years, then you have to give a practice, because even if you know, you won't arrive at the answers, because this is what it happens if you don't have practice. So do practice.
Excuse me, sir.
No, actually, I'm studying for my son, so I know I'm really trying to put
Oh,
my
sorry.
heart.
Okay. All right.
So my son is actually taking my
The
classes.
calculus videos.
Oh, I see.
Which
Nice. Yes.
the calculus video links which has been provided in the WhatsApp this group right now. Those videos were not there in the data science syllabus, like the which was shared for data science. So
Yes, it was not there.
do we have to watch those videos for data science?
I don't know which videos are, which profs. It's Sarang Saini's, Professor
28
Sarang Saini's.
calculus videos which are the link has been shared right now for the calculus videos.
Yes, Professor Sarangs.
Which
So
WhatsApp
you can
group
watch
we are
them. You can
talking
watch
about?
them. Sorry, what?
So which WhatsApp group they are talking about?
With this
They
group.
created here in this chat window.
Okay.
So here, yeah, you can actually join this group.
No, this chat only I'm talking about, sir. A link has been shared for
See, if it is
calculus
Sarang,
videos.
Professor Sarang Saini's, then you can actually watch, because that's some official videos from our end. But you see, what I will suggest you is, instead of seeing these many videos, you can actually give practice to the questions. I mean, you can practice more questions rather than seeing these videos, because essentially what professor has done is, like, he's just explaining you the concept and just learning the concept right now. I don't think so it's an ideal time to do this. If you
Sir,
have some knowledge about the, yeah, just a minute. If you have a knowledge about integration and differentiation and some limits and sequences and series, you can just start practicing the questions. Do as many questions you can, because if you see professor video, what I can understand is, it's more like he's explaining you what is, like, let's say, how is this concept of derivative has come, or what do you really mean by limits. I mean, it's not the right time to do that. I mean, but you can still do this. There is no harm in doing that. But if you are to ask me, since you have less time, and if you want to give more practice to, start solving question and understand from the question. Learn concepts from the questions. That is something you can do. Okay.
Sir, when we
Okay,
are
yeah.
having this max exam, like, is it possible for us to flag the questions for review? Can we toggle between the questions, or it's like,
Yes. I think you can do that. Yes. You can do all that.
So you talked about the TCS center, right, sir? Is it like what is it about? Where is it? Any idea? Will we get
It's
some hall ticket
everywhere in
kind
all
of
the
a thing?
cities you have. I think you have it everywhere in all the cities. It's basically it's
Like
a common
Pearson,
place wherein all. Mhm.
is it like Pearson venue, something like that?
It's basically it'll be named with some Ion Digital, wherein this TCS company set up their examination center. So you will have multiple computers, and you go and write there. So that's what you do. So they have separate things. So don't worry about it. I think this admin people will tell you.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Sir, I have not started maths course yet. So what is the shortcut for getting 40%? I don't want to
Okay.
miss this course. So can you just
Yeah.
tell me
Okay.
which
Okay. No
video should I
problem.
watch?
First of all, do what I have done here. At least these kind of questions, try doing it. Okay. If you can do so much, I think 40% it will be covered for sure. Okay. So you can try doing that. And other things, if you are to ask me, like the materials what is being provided to you, you can solve these only. You don't have to really, search elsewhere too. You can just solve these questions. That will suffice the need.
Materials means sample questions, right?
Yes. Yes. Those questions you can give a practice. And I think you have a mock exam as well.
Yeah, that
Uh,
mock examination I'm talking about.
so for that mock exam, you will be given some set of questions again. So you can solve those questions also. Okay. So that will again add to your questions,
Where is
your
this mock
question bank
exams
list.
available, sir?
So when that mock exam,
Okay, so that is not decided yet, and that is something we are still discussing on. So it's just that I wanted to tell you, like it might have, but we are keeping one for sure.
So can you
Okay.
increase the number of questions in the mock exam so that we get more practice there?
Okay, so do you have question banks with you? Like you have been given question banks?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so
No, sir.
you have been given just the videos,
Yeah.
just the
And one
videos
and one
question.
question paper.
Yeah.
and one question paper. Though I think the previous year question paper, is it?
Yes.
Sir, it had
Okay.
even the trigonometric sums in
Mock
that,
test
but you
paper.
haven't
No,
discussed
no, no, you
anything
will not
about
have
it.
it. No, 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 you don't have any trigonometry concepts. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You will
But one
not
of
be
the major
asked like,
questions was about trigonometry in the sample paper which they had given.
I don't remember anywhere we have created, a major questions on trigonometry. There won't be, for sure. I'm pretty sure about it. If it is, you can tell me right now
Okay.
what question it is. But I'm pretty sure. We certainly very firm about it
I'll
that
just
we will
share
not.
it to you, sir.
Okay, just tell me. You can tell me verbally like what question it was.
Sir,
But
I
then,
want to.
sorry,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
go ahead. But then one of the calculus sums that you did today had something related to sine and all that. So
So at least
do we just
it's
have to
it's
know
it's
the
just an
basic
expression.
concepts
Yes,
first?
yes, yes. At least that much you should know. I mean, that is
Uh,
something even there in your 10th standard level. So that much at least
yeah,
you should
so
know.
that should suffice, isn't it?
Yeah, that will suffice the need. But you will not have
Okay.
something with, coming like sine 3x.
Uh,
And we are not expecting you to remember that formula
Sir,
or like do
there
some
is
big.
some fourth question in the
okay.
sample paper which they have given, sir. Like Seema wants to draw a rangoli on the floor and she's going in a zigzag line. It starts from a point one and she draws a line segment of 2√2 feet at an angle of 45 degrees with respect to dr and 2 till she reaches point 2.
Okay, so you mean to
From
say this
point
is
2 she draws a.
trigonometric problem?
That's what I feel. So because they have given tan
It's
45
actually
is
not.
equal to 1.
See, yeah, so it's already given to you. What else you want? It's already given.
No, how to solve this problem is
I'll
was a
tell you.
mystery
I'll
for
tell you.
me.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not actually a mystery because you see, what is the slope of a line? It's basically dy by dx, or it's basically what you can say it's tan theta, right? So
Okay.
what I'm trying to say is trigonometry means you should at least know what is this sine theta, cos theta, and tan theta, and what are the values for sine 30, sine 40, and 45, and sine 60, and sine 90, like these kind of things. At least these values, and also don't worry about it. See, like even sine tan 45 value is given to you. It's not like we have even given you that privilege. Like you don't have to really memorize that value as well. You know.
So, but
So
how to
this much
approach
is
this question?
See, if you are doing a question like this is actually a straight line concept. Okay. So if you have a question like this, so what you do is you first understand what is the slope of a line. So, you know, a line is given y is equals to mx plus c. This m is nothing but tan theta. Okay. So what is tan theta? So theta is 45. So what is tan 45? Tan 45 is given as 1. So what is your m? M is 1. So what is your slope? Slope is 1. So that is the only thing you have to understand from there. That is not a trigonometry thing at all. Okay.
Sir, I want to ask something.
Mm-hmm.
So, in starting of this lecture, you were discussing about a question on sum of squared error, right? So, in that question, the method you were talking about, what is that methods are? Actually,
Oh, that M1, M2, M3, M4, that thing.
yes. Is
Those
that
are model equations.
completing the square or quadratic formula? These are the method you were talking about, or something else?
What method? I didn't get it.
In that M1, M2, M3, you were talking about some
Yeah,
methods,
yeah.
right? So, what
Those
are
were
these methods?
no. Oh, those methods, I was not talking about methods. Those are like model equations. You had to choose the best model from there. So you had to do some kind of analysis before choosing any model, right? So
Okay,
that is
and
what I was telling you.
okay,
And
and
then
those.
you had this.
Okay,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
And those method were you were solving by these factorial and completing the square error.
No factorial. There is no factorial in that. It's basically whatever is the predicted value minus, sorry, whatever is the given value minus the predicted value, you have to just square it, right?
Okay.
And then sum them all. That's all. That is only the SAC. You just do one problem by yourself, you will be able to understand that. Maybe like
Okay.
there's no practice on this,
Because I
so
have done
it's
the
not a complete.
first or second or third week, so there is no SSC there in that
There is SSC.
particular.
There is SSC.
No, sir. The YouTube
There is SSC.
playlist
No,
there
no,
is
no.
no.
Excuse me, sir.
There
There
is
was no SSC
SSC.
question, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
I don't know, like, are you seeing Professor Nilesh Upadhyay's video?
Yes.
Okay, so and you are saying week 2 videos. I don't know whether you have been provided the entire links or not,
No,
but
sir. I
this
have
is something. This is
a
something
playlist of
there
180 videos.
of of what match one
Yeah.
on week 2.
No. Total a playlist of 180 videos
You can
there.
actually
Sir,
check
it's
it
given,
because
sir, it's
actually the
given in
professor has
here.
discussed.
Sir, it's
He
there.
has discussed. It's
Sir,
there
it's
in the
there,
video.
sir. It's after distance between two parallel lines, sir. They have given the
You
examples.
will find it. It's there. It's there.
Okay.
Okay, you can just have a look there.
Sir,
Just
can
before
I get
quadratic
the
equations.
Can I get what?
can I get the recording of this this session going on right now?
I don't know if this was recorded or not. That's why I was telling you to keep
Because
recorded.
okay, because yesterday they told that it was going live, and I just saw on YouTube that it was like I didn't find out anywhere there. So
Okay.
I was just checking it. If can I
So
get it?
you
Do we
wanted.
have negative marking, sir?
There's no negative marking.
Okay. Regarding the questions that you just solved here, if the session is not recorded, may I request you to just share those questions to the distribution list of the emails?
I don't know if we can do this or not, but what I can do right now is I can actually save this, put it in a drive and share you that link right now.
Yes, even that
That is
works.
okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
And if there is a question bank that you are just referring to, that will also be helpful.
Okay, so maybe we can do something. One is this mock thing, and I feel that you don't have questions, much questions with you. So what we'll do is along with these question banks, we'll give you some more questions to you. Okay, you
Thank
can
you.
practice those questions. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, is there a separate WhatsApp group for the programming candidates, sir?
I don't know about this WhatsApp group.
Okay.
They are just randomly creating it. I mean, here in this chat window, so you can connect with them. You can actually, right? You can do that.
All right.
So just wait for a minute. I'll just add this in a drive and share you this link. But I don't know. I have made some error. I don't know if it is right or wrong to share. But just for the practice, I can share this. I think I have made some error in the slides, but just ignore some things and then learn it. Okay. It's just a typo. It's not a major error or something. It's just a typo. I'll share you that link in a minute. So till then you can ask question if you have any more. Like no more questions? Exhausted with the question? I cannot. Like you have some questions?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, we have not touched upon probability here and probability distribution and the concept of 3D geometries here. So will that be a good weightage in the exam?
I don't think so. You have anything here in the maths.
So there is a question in the sample paper itself saying that some parabola banner is being kept and such other stuff. In which concept does it come to?
Which banner
Question number
problem?
20. Like a parabolic banner of a
That
company
is not
XYZ
a
is
no. That is quadratic problem.
quadratic equation.
Yeah, quadratic equation. You don't have statistics in mathematics. That's a separate thing.
So how, sir, it would be great if you can have one more session and explain at least the sample questions which are there in the link. Because they
Maybe
have given
I
the
don't
answer
know.
like 1.5 and such other stuff. I don't know how to approach the question
No.
also.
Basically, like what you can do is you can discuss this among your friends because I don't see there is anywhere scheduled. We are actually held up with other sessions as well. So I don't think so we will be able to arrange any more session. But you can actually learn from your friends because I think some groups are created. You can contact them, read them. It's just a question, right? So you can just do that. So here I'm posting this drive link. So you can use this. You can use the slides. So there is a typo. So, like just ignore that and read it. All right. So I think we can end our session now. So
Would you be adding
thank
more
you all.
questions to this drive, sir?
No,
Like
no more
question
questions
bank?
on this
Please don't
drive.
forget to add that question bank thing.
Question bank, yes. Something, as I told you, we are creating this mock, right? So
Okay.
this mock thing. So you will be given some questions, maybe like some 15-20 questions. But apart from that, maybe we'll provide you more questions with solutions. Okay. So because without solution, I don't see, you will again it will be chaotic and you don't have much time, right? So we'll do that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
That
yes.
Thank you.
question bank, whichever you are going to circulate, it will be to the email IDs that the email was sent to and not what is as logged in here, right?
I not logged. Yeah. So what is being sent to you? I think with that, I guess I don't know like how are they communicating to you?
It
How
just
is it?
came to the Gmail account that I actually gave.
Okay, so you gave your Gmail ID. Okay, fine. So let me
All
see
of us
this.
registered in with our Gmail ID, sir. So based on that, we have
Perfect,
received
perfect,
an invite. So we don't have persons. I mean, like
perfect.
our candidates, contact number or the mail ID. So regrouping or grouping ourselves to do some kind of a discussion is like kind of impossible here.
All right. I do understand, but let me see if we can share you via email or something can be done like that. I think if your email is registered, I mean certainly it is, then I can get the access to it and then we can provide you. Maybe we
That
can
would be really
we can
helpful.
do that.
If I made a
Yeah.
mistake while logging into this session, probably that is going to really be a problem if you use the email ID
No,
here.
that won't be a problem. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
yeah.
Okay.
It will be great
All right.
favor,
About that,
Mr. Sharma, if you can have it shared ASAP.
sorry, sir, can we have
Yeah, sure, we'll do that.
the question dump or the list of questions for our practice? I mean, the previous year questions or some kind of set of questions.
Sure, that's what I was telling. We'll see if we can provide. I think we should provide that. Maybe I'll give more emphasis to this that we should provide because you are not given much question to practice, so I think you should be given. So we'll do that.
Yeah. So
A
would
very
this be
troublesome
given
question.
to all the subjects? Sorry, like English and aptitude, or
I
does
don't
it?
know about the other things. I'm promising about maths. Not
Got it.
promising, but yes, I'll put my
Okay.
effort to
Got it.
get this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Sir,
The
there is a
troublesome
question.
question being, can we get in touch with you if the email
You
doesn't
can
come
connect
through?
me through LinkedIn.
Okay.
That's the only way because I don't think so we can connect through this IITM right away. Yeah, but once you are, then certainly after that we can meet in person as well. if you come to IIT campus.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, do we have questions from 3D geometry?
3D geometry, no. Okay, so I think it's done.
Great, Mr. Sharma. Great help. Look forward to speak to you again.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
actually,
you.
can you please share the link again? I just joined from. I was watching.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
Okay.
Sitan. God bless
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Yeah,
Thank you very much and have a nice evening.
you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
you,
All
sir.
the very best to all the participants here from my side. Hope
Nice.
I'll be able to join you guys when we start.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All the best, everyone, and I wish all of you can, come to this program and we can learn together.
Thanks, sir.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
For the wishes.
Bye.